history we have. Like, obviously, she couldn't have done that. So, yeah, wow, that's a tough one. That is.
He's remember watching that movie.
But there's two left.
Yeah.
I remember watching that movie in school and being taught about the miracle worker and Helen Keller.
Yeah.
And it hurts to come to the realization that, yes, she was a fraud. Like, he's brought this up before, and I was like, you're just an asshole. You're just an asshole. She's an inspirational story.
My childhood.
But if he's to be believed, I've done zero research on my own, that no one has ever done what she did, then you're left with two options. Either she's either a genius or a retard. It's literally one or the other. Like, she's like either the smartest deafblind person that's ever existed. Like, if she'd had her senses, she'd have been Einstein. Yeah. Maybe not Einstein, because apparently he's about to disprove Einstein. But
oh yeah, right.
or she in fact was a literal retarded person.
I think it's like when like Anne Sullivan must have been like with Helen, thinking it was like a dog. You ever see people online? They're like, "Look, my dog," and it goes, "Oh, it's saying I love you." Yeah, my dog said I love you. It's like, no, your stupid dog didn't say I love you.
Right? It made 3 syllables. I'll give you that.
Shit or something.
Instead, it's more like this, and she's like, she says that capitalism is inherently flawed, folks.
Yeah. I don't know.
Let me read you a supposed quote from Helen.
Oh, okay. I would like to hear a quote from the great Ms. Keller.
Did she ever get married? That would be interesting.
Oh, God.
From her that lines up exactly with the beliefs of her teacher. It is...
It's got fucking paper.
When we watched that movie in junior high, the only thing I remember is the 20-minute speech our teacher gave us about how if anyone laughed at the end of the movie, how much, like, he had a whole chart on this is how, if you snicker, this is how much trouble you're going to get in.
Yeah.
All right, man.
That.
We don't,
God,
you are showing us this movie. We don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Can I just conjugate verbs in the outside, please?
It was a great way to find out who was going to be a comic in the room.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's going to be a comic.
He sat on my desk during the entire movie.
I believe that.
Your balls are on my hand, dude. He's like, tell your parents, they're not going to care. You're right. Can I at least watch? It sounds funny. What's going? No, you may not watch.
Try watching that movie as a 16-year-old and not cracking the fuck up. It's so funny.
Yeah, there's no way.
So, can we walk out of that class like drunks, like just silent? That was the good shit, man. That was the good shit.
So tell me if you think this seems more likely to have come from Anne Sullivan, her teacher, who is very politically motivated, or more likely to come from a person, the only person in human history, blind, deaf, and mostly dumb, that can't that can actually
communicate. Wizard.
Yeah. Here's Helen Keller's quote, translated by Anne Sullivan. Our worst foes are ignorance, poverty, and the unconscious cruelty of our commercial society.
Oh, fuck.
These are the causes of blindness. These are the enemies which destroy the sight of children and workmen and undermine the health of mankind. Does that seem like a blind, deaf person?
Nah.
Helen Keller said that?
How long did it take her to say it? How many months did it take her to say that?
She was a college graduate, Taylor. She speaks like that.
Anne Sullivan said that shit. I'm throwing this in the finished box. I win.
Oh my God.
Either that retard was more eloquent than all of us combined.
It's a slam dunk, my friend.
Or the more likely thing is that she was manipulated and used. So just saying.
I'm going to wake my mom up after this
I do want to hear the Einstein one, though.
So I think I'm going to go, and then we'll have Taylor as our closer.
Sure.
All right. So, next link. Don't look ahead.
I will not.
All right. The entire PKA cast is on steroids.
It's how I gained so much weight so quickly in my fat fucking belly and thighs and face.
A conspiracy theory by an obvious roid head. All right, the case is clear. This presentation will outline the impact of steroids have on adult males and compare them with the changes we've seen in the hosts over the years. All right, let's get the obvious one out of the way. Performance-enhancing drugs increase skull size, right? You can see the impact that it had on Barry Bonds right here.
Wow, that's crazy.
Next slide with the Joe Rogan.
My goodness.
Fuck, I could rest my case right here, really?
Oh my God.
If you think this change just happens, then you're adorable.
I like how you didn't even shrink my photo enough to fit in the frame. You just
He's overlapping, Joe.
Next slide. All right. Performance-enhancing drugs increase muscle size. Holy shit, Taylor. All right, so here's me. Natural? No. I have a bridge to sell you. Look at my biceps. Look at my thighs. This is kind of performance this is what peak performance looks like. And it doesn't happen naturally. Next slide. Taylor. Jesus Christ, Taylor. Look at you. Look at you. You didn't look like that when you first joined the show. This is the obvious impact of performance-enhancing drugs. On to Kyle. Next slide.
Jesus Christ.
Do you think you get those kind of gains in 2 months behind bars? You're out of your fucking mind.
This is compelling.
Oh, you should see me from behind. It's just a mess.
All right. So now we've seen the positives. Next slide. Steroids increase skin cancer risk.
Oh, no. If you guys don't know, Kyle recently had a bout with skin cancer.
Yeah, it's funny. See?
It's good shit. Yeah. New research supports earlier linking steroid use to non-melanoma type skin malignancies, which is what he had. Next slide. It's not all bitches and hot tubs, babies. So steroids stimulate the growth of certain cancers, and they enhance other medical problems too. Next slide. Performance-enhancing drugs, they cause hair loss. Hair loss. Anabolic steroids and hair loss, these things link together. Next slide. Look at me.
Oh my God.
Right?
Woody, you look like that Elon Musk picture before he got his hair plugs.
That was when I went to the black barber. The one on the left. He straightened
When he
me
went to
up.
a black barber, and the black barber quote squared him up. Look at the look on Woody's face, and the one where he's like he just looks disgusted. He's got the N word on his lips. You can tell.
It's a
What
sad
happened
day.
to your hair, Woody? That
The great hairline, the once great hairline, is no more. So, what are people saying? They're saying, oh my God, muscles are off the charts. They're saying Woody's bald. And they're saying the other two are getting cancer shortly. I rest my case.
I'm afraid because you made a great point. I've been on steroids.
Wow.
These are real people. Wendy Ryder, Ronnie Reeder, Abby Author. These are reliable sources.
I saw those. See those, so a bit biased.
Oh, Abby Author. There's. I didn't realize that they were excerpts from fictional people at the bottom.
You thought there were actual writers talking about us?
No, I didn't think that. I thought these were just points that he had made, like little bullet points. I didn't realize. I didn't see that Ronnie Reeder from the NYC had given a quote. I thought this was just a Woody quote.
This is the word of the episode. Apparently, this is salient, Woody. I like it.
I heard you use that word before my PowerPoints came up, and I was like, maybe Taylor's vocabulary is rubbing off on me.
That's quite a long road to talk about how muscular you and Taylor are, Woody. Making a whole comedy bit,
That's a humble brag. Yeah.
putting your thighs in our face. All right.
Again. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Now you're going to know that me and Woody collabed on this one.
Look how jacked I am. I must be on steroids. Yeah.
You that still shot photo of me where I'm leaning forward all awkward and it fucking makes my traps look terrible. Yeah, use that one.
And then you guys want us to say, well, like, let's see your balls because they're probably shrunken, and then you whip them out and they're just huge. You know,
Debunked.
The large skull size thing was compelling. I will say that.
I think Taylor was stretched in that.
That's true. People do this thing now on our subreddit where they I think it's funny, where they'll post pictures of me where they will Photoshop my eyes like slightly farther and farther.
Yeah.
I just look absurd. If you go to reddit.com/PKA, it's Kyle, Woody, and then me with like Sid the Sloth eyes. Totally separate.
It's amazing how just moving shit a little bit really makes an impact.
It's funny. So
Yeah, faces are off. We're built to like detect like like something that's wrong with the other person, so we don't breed with them, right? So like if there's some sort of deformity or something, you're like, ooh, unclean. You see it. You're disgusted by it.
It's a little weird. Yeah, you'd think an eye looking slightly in a different direction wouldn't be that noticeable, but whoa, you do.
Yeah.
So that brings us
a lot.